new leak dropped like a bomb in the middle of a trial already filled with tension. An audio involving Diddy, Will Smith, and Meek Mill began circulating, and the impact was immediate. In the courtroom, the atmosphere changed. Expressions hardened, lawyers whispered. Diddy's trial, which began as a process focused exclusively on Cassie's accusations, became an unpredictable whirlwind, dragging powerful names from the entertainment industry and revealing an underground world that few believed was real. What previously seemed like an isolated case of abuse and control now exposes a labyrinth of shocking recordings, secret judicial maneuvers, and a chain of old videos that resurface as pieces of a sinister puzzle. And no, this is no longer internet rumor. It is evidence projected in full federal court. Social media is on fire, and whoever is at the center of the hurricane is surely trying to put out fires behind the scenes. After weeks where the prosecution detailed Cassie's disturbing testimonies, from violence to the infamous forced encounters organized by Diddy, the focus shifted abruptly. According to sources inside the court and online leaks, attention now revolves around audio tapes that would be playing beyond the reach of the press, and they are not common recordings. The accusations say they involve Diddy, Will Smith, and Meek Mill in explicit and undeniable scenes. Everything would have started with the projection of security images from a hotel, without sound, just video. At that moment, many believed that would be the climax, but behind the scenes, they say the soundtrack came later and silenced the entire room. No journalist recorded, no cell phone was allowed, only silence. A silence so thick that it evidenced the gravity of what was being heard. A source described the audio as explicit with men in intimate situations impossible to deny. Tension rose when the court announced new witnesses. Inside people from Diddy's circle of trust, former Bad Boy Records members, employees, touring musicians, attendees of his most private parties, people who previously remained silent out of fear, but now, legally protected, decided to speak among them. A known figure, Dawn Richard, former member of Danity Kane, female group directed by Diddy. She testified recently and was seen leaving the courthouse, visibly affected. It wasn't acting. Her tired look and collapsed posture were captured without filters. Internal sources assure that she confirmed a large part of Cassie's complaints, and that's not gossip, it's part of the judicial transcript. But what really turned many stomachs was the moment when Diddy's daughter left the courthouse. Pale, static, without speaking, without looking up, simply crossing the flashes in total silence. Not even the paparazzi dared to ask her anything. It is said that this reaction occurred right after the reproduction of the reserved audio. And if even she, raised behind the scenes of that empire, was left in shock, what was it that they heard in there? It is there where Will Smith's name stops being a footnote and becomes the center of a delicate plot. After the leak of the tapes, the internet did its thing. Digging, videos, relaxed interviews, podcasts. One in particular resurfaced with force, comedian Linnell, mentioning with disturbing naturalness that Will and Diddy had an intimate relationship. At the time, few noticed it, now everyone noticed it, and the internet did the rest. Clip after clip began to take on new meaning, especially those showing Will with Jaden Smith. What before seemed like paternal affection now was analyzed with suspicion, and then came the bomb. Brother Bilal, Will's former personal assistant, spoke, and what he described made the internet hold its breath. Graphic allegations, situations that would involve not only Will, but also actor Dwayne Martin in intimate moments with him. And again, those are Bilal's words, not fan theories. From there came chaos. Internet users became detectives, rescuing photos, videos, encounters at parties. Each new image of Will and Diddy together, embracing or toasting, made it harder to sustain Will's public denial, who had said he had no connection with Diddy. And then Meek Mill's name entered the scene with force. Unlike Will, who denied coldly, Meek lost control. He went straight to X Twitter and began posting nonstop. Each tweet seemed more desperate and clear. That only generated more suspicions. The old jokes about his excessive closeness with Diddy, they called him intern, pocket doll, and worse things, now didn't sound like mockery, but ignored signals. Compromising videos reappeared. One of him jumping weird at billionaire Michael Rubin's party, another of Diddy organizing a birthday party for Meek, with shirtless men in the pool. At one moment, Diddy looks at him and says, "I love you, papi. Life is beautiful, daddy." The internet did not forgive. What is happening here is not just a scandal, it is the collapse of reputations, the exposure of decades of secrets protected by packs of power and silence. And if what was heard in court is real and coincides with what circulates behind the scenes, this trial is about to change not only Diddy's life, but how we see a good part of Hollywood's elite. Every time Meek tried to act tough on social media, internet users responded with the same sarcasm. That video of Diddy calling him daddy became a viral meme over and over again. And when Meek screamed, "I'm not gay, stop it, bro," the effect was the opposite. The response, an avalanche of old screenshots, forgotten tweets, and compromising videos. all pointing to his uncommon relationship with Diddy. But none of that compares to the real elephant in the room, the content of that audio recording. What does that material contain that silenced even the most skeptical? So far, nothing has leaked. No video, no image, not a second of audio. All we have are descriptions whispered by insiders, loose phrases in the courthouse hallways, and pale faces of those who were in the room. One of those insiders described the audio as a man being violently penetrated while Diddy laughed in the background. That is the level of brutality being discussed. Away from the spotlight, away from cameras, but close enough to shake anyone involved's reputation. And then something even stranger emerged, a very short clip circulating in closed groups that supposedly would show Diddy and Meek in an intimate act. Real, fake, it's impossible to know. But the internet reacted as if it were true. And worse, the government neither confirmed nor denied, simply remained silent. In the United States, that type of evidence is normally public, even more so in a federal criminal case. So, the question resonates, why hide that material? If it's strong enough to condemn, why can't it be heard? If it's the center of the trial, where is the transparency? Some argue that secrecy protects victims, others say the content is too explosive. Many famous names, too much influence, too many contracts at stake. If that audio comes to light, it won't just be a fall, it will be a collapse. It will drag careers, destroy public images, and expose figures that, until now, weren't even mentioned. And that's where paranoia begins. If Diddy, Will, Meek are just the surface, who else is involved? The feeling is that we're about to discover something much bigger. An underground network of power and silence that operated behind the scenes in entertainment elite for decades. And what scares most isn't even the names, it's the void, the complete silence. We live in the era of leaks, intimate photos, judicial audios, confessions. Everything always leaks, but this time nothing, not a frame, not a breath. That's not normal, that's strategic, and it's making everyone wonder who is protecting this. This case stopped being about Cassie and Diddy weeks ago. What is being unearthed now is a culture, a hidden gear that sustained the industry's shine, and that perhaps is only coming to light because finally there are brave victims and prosecutors willing to face hell to open that Pandora's box. What's at stake is not just the fall of an icon, it's the end of an era. Diddy wasn't just a music mogul, he was a cultural symbol. He was the king of parties, the man behind the Vote or Die campaign, the intimate friend of billionaires and celebrities. But now, all that is crumbling before our eyes, and the craziest thing, people are looking back and noticing that the signs were always there. The sick obsession with controlling artists, the weird interviews, the artists who left Bad Boy destroyed, disappeared, silenced. Day 26, Danity Kane, O'Brien Day, tried to alert for years and nobody wanted to listen. But the court is listening now. Don Richard confirmed everything, corroborated Cassie's testimony, said before a judge, she is not lying. That happened, and that confirmation in a federal court is a sentence. It's devastating. And it's not just Diddy who is sinking. Will Smith, who was barely recovering from the slap fiasco at the Oscars, is seeing his public image crumble again. Those who defended him now wonder, who exactly did we believe all this time? Because if the tapes are real and he's in them, it won't just be a scandal, it will be the end, a public implosion. And Meek Mill legally may be clean, but the internet already condemned him. His Twitter attacks, the paranoid posts, they want to destroy me, only feed the fire. And in that new court that is online culture, if your name is linked to filth, you already lost. Meanwhile, the government remains mute. No explanation about confidential material, no press release, no indication that those tapes officially exist, and that only reinforces the theory. Those tapes are too dangerous to come to light. Maybe they involve names that are out of reach. Maybe they touch agreements we'll never understand. Or maybe the judicial system itself is walking on glass to not detonate a cultural bomb that could ignite all of Hollywood. The trial continues. The internet burns, those involved pretend nothing is happening, but it won't last. The time of silence is running out because truth has a cruel way of surfacing. And when it comes out, there won't be stone upon stone, because what's behind that curtain is not only rotten, it's historical, and the world is about to discover it. And if all that already seems shocking, wait to hear what Cassie Ventura revealed in court. Her testimony not only exposed the backstage of a relationship marked by control, abuse, and fear, but was also the spark that made this entire castle of power come tumbling down. Her words made the silence in the room turn into tension, and when she began to tell what she really lived alongside Diddy, not even the lawyers could hide the impact. The truth is finally coming out, and this is just the beginning. What do you think about these shocking revelations? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button if this opened your eyes, and subscribe for more updates on this explosive case. The era of silence is ending, and we'll keep bringing you every new development. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.